John Barry joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show once again. How are you, John?
What's up, Rich?
I mean, when you see in the greatest player in the world a circular cut, it was like a direct hit on the lens, it appeared, LeBron on the camera. What did you make of that moment last night, John?
Well, it happens, and I hear everybody talking about the cameras and all that. But if these guys want to be paid the money, we need them there. We need the cameras. I just thought on the play he really could have just took a fall immediately, but he kind of tried to stay upright, and he took two steps to try to regain his momentum, and he couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate, And the guy he did fall into is his Nike guy, so. I didn't get to see the TV part of it. I was just there in person, but I'm sure he was giving Bogut and the referee the business.
Yeah, he was, for sure. But, those cameras, as you point out, they do provide the perspective. Do you think, as LeBron's a big guy in the union now, do you think this is something that's going to be addressed because it just happened in the biggest moment for the season, John?
Possibly. I mean, why not extend the court and back those guys up? I think in the end of the day, you're not going to lose another row of seats. There's plenty of room as you walk behind the first couple rows there. So, I mean, maybe you can back them up a little bit. But, yeah, since it was LeBron, if it was Dellavedova hitting his head, I don't know that they'd look at the new rule. I mean, let's be honest.
Hey, we are honest, John. I mean, you do treat star players differently. And if something happens to a star player, it becomes, something that sparks a rage on Twitter, as it did last night. And, and then everyone's remarking, how come if he's banged his head, there's no, and Joey Crawford's going over there. Let's of many things that he's called, MD is not one of them. How come he didn't get a concussion protocol look last night?
Well, what I was told is that that's up to the discretion of whatever team's physician. If they deem that they need to look at him, then they do. And I would think a hit to the head on a camera pretty hard and you got blood, that would constitute, I'd probably take a look at it. And, as you know, I mean, the symptoms sometimes don't show up. It could be an hour, it could be a day. So, who knows what would happen. He said he was dealing with a little bit of a headache after that. So, for all we know, he might have a concussion today. I would certainly take a look at it today if I was them.
Well, I mean, Bogut made the most of his 2.5 minutes of action, John.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, he did.
I mean,
the Hatch man. That was. Well, you know what? He got the message because I think he hasn't been physical enough. And if you say, hey, you're not starting anymore, maybe a little fire under him. But that was good. He had a couple nice hard fouls, a couple boards, and did a decent job.
Yeah, and we also saw Curry going at Dellavedova a little bit, and he had a very uncharacteristic snarl. On his face, and David Lee was getting a little scrappy. And do you think this is something that Kerr basically told him that we're getting out toughed in this series?
No question, and that's exactly what's been going on and why they trailed 2-1. It wasn't as much basketball as that. Is their competitive nature wasn't where it needed to be, and that doesn't mean they're not trying, but they had to take it to another level. The will and want to of the Cavaliers was more than the Golden State Warriors in the first three games, and they clearly got the message. They were a completely different club last night, and they were the team that we'd seen pretty much throughout the whole regular season. 67 wins. They looked pretty good.
Hit me with the X's and O's of the Iguodala in, Bogut out, and why that worked so well last night.
Well, just they wanted another playmaker, get a little pace. Iguodala, they wanted a better start. They've had terrible first quarters in all three games prior to last night. Iguodala's done a terrific job on LeBron James. I think LeBron's shooting 30% against Iguodala since he's been on him in the series. But yeah, it was a message sender. Like, hey, we're at our moment of truth here. We can't go down 3-1, even though we're the superior team. When you have the best player in the world, you don't want to put yourself in that hole. And it was a must-win situation. They never lost 3 games in a row all year. And they responded.
Yeah, and they're not going to lose 3 games in a row all year because if the Cavs do beat them twice in a row, that'll be the end of the season. So the Golden State Warriors avoided that 3-game losing streak last night, and will go the entire season without one. I'm with John Barry here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what now? because Steve Kerr is being praised for pushing buttons, and David Blatt looks like he's got no button. He's buttonless. They're out of buttons pretty much in Cleveland right now. So what does Blatt do moving forward for Game 5?
Hyperbaric chambers would be good. Because honestly, I've never seen a team as tired as I've seen that team last night.
No
honestly,
kidding.
These guys come over from timeouts, and that's where my vantage point was, right behind. And I mean, LeBron looked like American Pharaoh. His tongue was out. I'm telling you, it was exhaustion by almost every single guy. And Dellavedova, he didn't get on the floor one time last night. And this guy's been the human rug burn for the whole playoffs. He didn't have the energy even to dive on the floor for a ball. And if they're going to win a game, this chance, although it is in Oakland, this game is the best chance they have because they have an extra day in between. When they go play their Sunday, they got to turn around and fly home and play Tuesday. The chances of them winning that game, I think, are slim, albeit at home.
Mm-hmm.
So with this extra day, they've got to find some way to get some energy and find a way to win in Oakland, which no team has won twice in Oakland. And they've only lost 4 games.
Sure. And I've noticed, though, that the difference between Games 6 and 7 is also 3 games, that it's a Friday night. Do you know why that happened, John? I do not know why the schedule jumped that way. Have you been told?
I don't know why they get the extra day between 6 and 7. I really don't.
Huh.
But I just think anytime you go from, San Francisco to Cleveland, you got to have an extra. That should be the extra day. It should never be while you're in the same city. It should be when you go to the other city.
Mm-hmm.
But, you got to get the right nights. That's what they want. Sunday night's the big night, and Wednesday night's the big night. So that's what they want.
I'm seeing that there's an A's game on the 18th. That couldn't be it, is it? That they just wanted to avoid. No, the A's are.
Why? There'd only be a couple hundred people.
Nice. I'm just wondering what that might be like. So how do you see because you can't, I guess, as you point out, hyperbaric chamber and fluids, unless there's somebody. I mean, Dellavedova's 20. That was crucial. Where can David Blatt find the points?
Look, Mozgov and Thompson, as you would suspect, when the Warriors go small, they dominated. I mean, they were big time. Mozgov had a career high last night. Thompson was excellent. They crashed the glass. They had 16 offensive rebounds, but they couldn't shoot the ball. I mean, J.R. Smith's 2 for 12. Delly's 3 for 14. Shumpert was 2 of 9. I mean, they went 4 for 27 from the 3-point line. I believe they shot 13% outside of the paint. That's fatigue. It really is. And look, this is an undermanned team. We all know that. And for them to win the first 2 out of the 3 games, honestly, was stunning. People were stunned that the Warriors were down 2-1 to this team, despite the fact how great LeBron played and how great he is. The depth of the Warriors is now coming forth. I mean, they're the superior team.
It sounds like you think this is over.
I do. I think the next 2 games will be much like last night. I really believe that. I thought the Warriors would win 3 in a row starting in Game 3. Cleveland was unbelievable in that game, but I just don't know what they can reach for right now and come up with to be able to have the energy to do this. I really can't see it.
Our poll question today, John, we're asking people yes or no, flat out. Do you have a problem with Steve Kerr lying pregame when asked point blank about the lineup change that he had already planned to do? What do you think?
No way. What are they doing with Bishop? That's worse than what Steve Kerr's doing.
You're right, John. I don't have a problem with it either. But Ben Bishop, he's clearly hurt. Something's going on with him.
That's a weird one there. Was he scared?
How could somebody who's 6'9" on skates be scared of anything?
I know. I don't know.
Padded up. I mean, come on now. You want to make a prediction on the ice too, John? You want to do that? You want to throw that out there?
Oh, I like the Blackhawks. I think get it done.
You do?
It's the experience, yeah.
All right, because I mean that was John Barry Melrose here on the Rich Eisen show.
I would
like that.
The Barry Bistro. I wish I could get one of those.
Your last name is Barry, John. You should go ahead and say, "Where the heck is my bistro?"
Yeah, I'm going to steal that from Melrose.
Do it. Do it.
We will.
Tell him I sent you. That'll help.
I will.
Wait a minute. Why laugh at that? I had 7 years there. 7 solid years there.
You're a powerful man. There's no question about it.
Hey, did you hear Breen used my phrase? Matt dove on the floor. He used it last night, and Van Gundy peed all over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you have that? Do you have that moment? Can we play that? Or do you have that? Because I had him on the show the other day, John, and I asked him. I said, hey, "Can you use Matt dove on the floor during a game?" He said he would, and he was a man of his word. Here, this one's last night.
Green still battles out of bounds. Cavs ball. There are a whole bunch of different nicknames now for Dellavedova. One of them, Matt dove on the floor. No, you don't like it?
I liked one I saw today. Whoa, Delhi!
I mean, come.
The Delhi Llama, I like.
The Delhi Llama. That's a good one. I like it.
Llama.
See, but I liked it, and if I didn't, I would have given you a professional courtesy laugh as Breen gave to Van Gundy instead of Van Gundy just like saying nothing. I mean, like Van Gundy should just leave the comedy to other people. You know what I mean?
He kind of brushed over that a little bit. I don't think he was a big fan of it.
John, thanks for. See, that wasn't a courtesy laugh. I did find that funny. Thank you for calling in, John.
You bet, man.
We'll chat again soon. That's John Barry Bistro.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.